All right, time to dust off those 20-sided dice, everybody, because we are diving deep, deep, deep into the Lost Mine of Phandelver. You know, that classic D&D campaign setting.
Excellent choice, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lost Mine of Phandelver, it's basically legendary, right? In the world of D&D, it's like the first campaign for so many new adventurers.
Is it the goblins?
You know, the goblins are fun.
Everyone loves a good goblin fight.
Always a good time. But this one's got layers, like a really good onion tart.
Okay, so what's the secret ingredient? What makes Lost Mine of Phandelver so special?
It's the mystery, the hook. You got the secretive dwarf, right? But there's more to him than meets the eye. And that's just classic adventure storytelling. You're basically just dangling a giant question mark in front of the players. And you're like, well, go on then. Figure out what this dwarf is hiding.
All right, you've got me hooked. Set the scene. Where does this tantalizing mystery begin?
All right. So picture this. You're in the Forgotten Realms. It's a world just overflowing with magic, adventure. You've got rolling hills, dense forests. It's like that classic, you could run into a dragon at any moment kind of vibe.
Okay.
So now, we're going to zoom in on the Sword Coast, okay? This rugged coastline dotted with port cities, you know, like Neverwinter.
Neverwinter, huh? I can already picture, like, the salty sea dogs and, like, the shadowy back alleys.
Oh, you'd fit right in.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So that's where you'd meet your next employer. Gundren Rockseeker. He's a dwarf.
Okay.
And he's a little tight-lipped.
I don't trust him. No chipty eyes.
Maybe. He needs some help, right? He needs someone to escort a wagon load of supplies. From Neverwinter, the markets there, to this sleepy town, Phandelver.
Okay.
Seems simple enough, right?
Great. What's the catch?
Well, he's being a little secretive about what's actually in this
Right?
bag.
Oh, there's always a catch. So what is Gundren hiding?
That's the million gold piece question. He keeps hinting that he and his brothers, they're onto something big, like life-changing.
Okay.
And here's the thing, he's offering a very generous reward. 10 gold pieces per person.
Wow, that's a lot.
Delivered when you get to Phandelver, to a place called Barthen's Provisions.
Okay, so when has a dwarf ever been so free with his gold? Unless something is really, really up. All right, well, I can already feel the intrigue. So our heroes, they're obviously lured by the promises of riches, right? And adventure. So they set off on this seemingly simple escort mission. But this is D&D, so things don't go according to plan.
Of course not.
I mean, how could they?
Never let your players get comfortable, right?
Yeah.
The journey takes them along the Tribor Trail. And this is like bandit territory. Like every rustle of leaf, you're like, is that a bandit? And as you come around this bend, you see this sight that just stops you in your tracks. 2 dead horses, riddled with arrows, blocking the path.
Oh, that's never a good sign. So is it bandits? Or is it something a little more sinister?
Well, bandits aren't exactly known for their precision archery skills. This has Cragmaw Goblin written all over it.
Cragmaw goblins. We're talking filed down teeth, unhealthy obsession with wolves, Cragmaw goblins.
The one and only. They're notorious in the area.
Yeah.
Known for, well, their ruthlessness.
They don't mess around.
No, they don't. And their tendency to follow any order, no matter how crazy, from their fearless leader, King Groll.
Okay. I'm picturing like a throne of gnawed bones and rusty weapons.
Well, absolutely.
So these Cragmaw goblins, they're the ones that ambushed the caravan, but why? Why go through all that trouble?
Now that is the question that's going to lead you down this rabbit hole of intrigue, okay? So you quickly discover that this ambush, it wasn't random.
Okay.
It was orchestrated by a bugbear with delusions of grandeur.
Of course.
His name is Clarg. Clarg. And he has a pet wolf, Ripper.
Okay, so not only are we dealing with goblins, we're dealing with the bugbear and his pet wolf. This is intense.
I was about to get real.
Okay, so Clarg, he's just a lieutenant, right? He must be taking orders from someone higher up, especially if he's involved in a kidnapping.
You catch on quick. And where does a bugbear with a penchant for kidnapping and just a flair for the dramatic hangout? The Cragmaw hideout, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah, so picture this, a network of these damp, dark caves. You know, the air is thick with the smell of wet fur and, well, just dripping. You hope it's water.
Okay, I am officially creeped out, so let me guess. In this Cragmaw hideout, there's probably, like, a cunning flood trap.
Well, you know, a well-placed flood trap can really flush out those baddies.
That's pretty devious.
It is. It's good dungeon design, though.
What happens if the adventurers trigger this flood trap?
It's up to the players, really. And the Dungeon Master, of course.
So our heroes are trapped in this goblin lair.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah.
They're facing this bugbear with a nasty attitude and a very large wolf. What do?
Well, this is D&D, right?
Right.
Options.
Options.
They could fight Clark and his cronies head on.
Okay. Risky.
Very risky. Or they could try to use their silver tongues.
Persuade the goblins.
Exactly.
So.
Because, goblins, they're not exactly known for keeping secrets.
Okay, so through either their skills in combat or some really good role-playing, they get some answers. What do they learn?
Okay, buckle up, because this is where the plot thickens.
Okay, I'm ready.
Clark, he was hired to kidnap Gundren,
Okay.
but not by just anyone.
By who?
This name just sends shivers down your spine when you hear it.
Okay.
The Black Spider.
Okay, that name just needs like a villain theme song. Like, who is this mysterious figure?
That's the real question, isn't it? The Black Spider is shrouded in mystery. But one thing's for sure, they're a big deal in this region.
Okay.
But the goblins, they also let something else slip. Something that makes it very clear why the Black Spider wanted Gundren.
Okay, what is it?
Gundren, he wasn't just transporting any old supplies, he had something far more valuable.
What?
A map.
A map? A map to where?
To a place whispered in legends, a place of immense power and maybe untold riches.
Ooh.
Wave Echo Cave.
I knew it!
The source of the fabled Phandelver's Pact.
Phandelver's Pact! That has something to do with the founding of Phandalin itself.
You're one step ahead.
Yeah.
So this pact, it's ancient. Dwarves, gnomes, and humans, they agreed to share the riches of Wave Echo Cave.
Okay.
And it's a big part of this whole region's history.
So this simple escort mission just got a whole lot more complicated.
Just a tad.
We've got a missing dwarf, we've got a shadowy mastermind, and now a legendary lost mine. It's like straight out of a bard song. But hold on. What about Sildar, Gundren's bodyguard?
Oh, right.
What happened to him? Did the goblins get him too?
That's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Remember that element of hope we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
It comes in the form of a familiar face.
Okay.
So you're exploring the Goblin Den.
Classic.
Classic D&D.
You stumble upon this hidden chamber. And who should be nursing his wounds in the corner but Sildar Hallwinter himself?
He's alive.
He's alive.
Oh, thank goodness. Although I doubt those goblins were exactly giving him tea and biscuits.
Let's just say he's seen better days. But he's alive.
Oh.
And he's got information. This is where it gets good. What does Sildar know?
Well, first of all, he's not just a hired sword. He's a member of the Lord's Alliance. They're all about bringing order to the region.
Right.
He was actually investigating some shady stuff happening in Phandalin when he got caught up in all of this.
Shady happenings in Phandalin. This just keeps getting better and better.
And to make matters worse, it seems that Sildar wasn't the only one the Lord's Alliance sent to investigate. There was another,
Oh.
a wizard.
A wizard.
Iarno Albrecht was his name,
Yarno Albrecht.
but he disappeared a few weeks back. Vanished.
A missing wizard. Okay, now that's just suspicious. This black spider seems to be involved in a lot. So what now? What do our heroes do with all this information?
Well, they're in a tough spot, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wounded prisoner. A name that strikes fear in the hearts of, well, everyone. And a map to a lost mine.
Not to mention a delivery contract.
Oh, yeah.
With Barthen's provisions. You know, for all this talk about legendary treasures and mysterious figures, they still have a job to do.
It's true.
Speaking of which, what do we know about Phandalin, anyway?
Phandalin. Oh, Phandalin is a story in itself.
Ooh. And luckily for us, we have time for another chapter in this deep dive. But for now,
Yes,
we'll leave our heroes at a crossroads.
because that's what it is, a crossroads.
With a choice to make that could determine the fate of Phandalin itself.